Did you know that the Mediterranean Sea was once a lake with no way out in either direction? But the movement of tectonic plates changed the continent's shape. First, the sea in the east shrank, making the Black and Caspian Seas stand out as separate bodies of water. Then, for reasons no one knows, a route appeared between Europe and Africa. It is only 13 kilometers long, and residents on the Spanish and Moroccan beaches can see the opposite coast in clear weather. The region is home to about 90 million people. Plans are made to connect states and continents with a steel or concrete bridge strip. But for some reason, no one is in a hurry to put it into action. Why is this so? Let's find out. Building a 13-kilometer bridge isn't a big deal, and modern engineers don't think it's impossible. Consider China, where bridges span 40 to 50 or perhaps more kilometers. So why isn't a bridge built in Europe? Are the engineers in a worse situation, or do they lack funds? Connecting the African and European coasts was imagined in the middle of the 19th century. It was once planned to build a dam and completely close the Strait of Gibraltar for this purpose. Luckily, there were no resources available for this adventure. On the other hand, the bridge project was in the works when the Spanish Bourbons returned to the throne in 1979. The governments of Morocco and Spain agreed that the idea was good. The Moroccan king hoped that the bridge would be completed during his lifetime in 1988, but these hopes were for nothing. The reality is that Europe's current technological advancement needs to be improved. The most important problem is that the strait is too deep. In places where the gap between the rocks is small, the seafloor sinks to a kilometer depth. Of course, you can divert slightly to the west where the bottom rises to the surface. Even in this case, with the strait's width enlarged to 25 kilometers, you will need to install 300-meter deep supports. Another issue is multi-directional currents. It makes it difficult for engineers and hydraulic engineers to calculate the structure's resistance. But even if you can deal with this, the supports beneath the water and even 300 meters high remain a big challenge. The bridge is structurally complicated, and the project is ambitious to the point of impracticability. So what can we say about the possibilities and realities of constructing a bridge in the open ocean? That, too, supports nearly a kilometer long, or even, God forbid, 300 meters long. That is not possible. Not in this decade, and probably not in this century. We'll take the other route. Where a bridge over water is not practical, a road can be built underneath it. The most famous tunnel with comparable characteristics is the European Tunnel, drilled beneath the English Channel and connects France and Great Britain. It stretches for more than 51 kilometers. That may be the answer. Unfortunately, tunnels are less reliable and more expensive. Considering that the Azores-Gibraltar Fault runs along the ocean floor here, construction at the current level of technology is impractical. Or more specifically, how can you construct it? What if the plates shift? Let's face it, coastal infrastructure will also be destroyed. An example of this is the 1755 earthquake that destroyed Lisbon, Portugal. Another cause is the difficulty with rugged rock. Once, engineers in Spain were asked to design the tunnel, but they had to give up on the job because the seabed was too complex and challenging to work with. However, the failure to build in the 1930s does not imply that the work was not done after that time. Also, they made a digital trial and figured out the best way to build the tunnel. So if the project is completed, the overall length of the tunnel will be 39 kilometers, of which 28.5 will be underwater. The tunnel's slope will be 3 degrees, and the maximum laying depth will be less than 500 meters. Optimists predict that the construction will take 10 years, 15 million euros, and thousands of workers. What is shocking is that the initiative had potential investors. Britain is quite interested now that they have left the European Union. A tunnel connecting Gibraltar to Tangier, Morocco's largest port, is a natural next step. According to forecasts, Africa will be one of the world's fastest developing regions in the future decades. With such progress, a bridge or tunnel connecting the two continents will be very useful. Something may show up at some point. That's all for now. Please leave us a like and comment indicating whether you're on Team Bridge or Team Tunnel. We'll work something out soon. Anyway, we'll see you next time.